Hey guys, my name is Jerry MacArthur from the Hydroflyer, and today we're going to talk about what happens when you fall off an eFoil. Is it dangerous? Will you get hit by the prop? Can the foil slice you? We'll break it down and go over each point. So what happens when you fall on an eFoil? Learning to fall properly on a regular eFoil is one of the most important things to riding it. You want to make sure you're falling away from the board and the foil. Learners can often kick the board out one direction and fall backwards, which results in them falling onto or in front of a sharp foil. Now this is the last thing you want to happen. While this sounds scary, falling is part of learning and part of the fun, and a good instructor can teach you the right way to fall and make sure you're well away from the foil. It's important to look at different safety features when choosing an eFoil. Some of the things we did on the Hydroflyer are a safety tether, so when you fall off, a brake is applied to the throttle and stops the craft as quickly as possible. A pointed bow that makes falls easier, a really robust handlebar and board design that leads to strength and predictability while falling, so you don't have to worry about what will happen. I originally made the Hydroflyer for myself to jump off waves and charge through big swell. And one thing I learned while crashing is it really made the crashes more predictable. By the board hitting first and you holding onto the handlebars, you've actually slowed down your crash by the time you hit the water. And you know exactly where the foil is in all crashes. It's also nice that the board is with you still. If you're in big waves or rough conditions, the board doesn't get away from you. Lots of times when I was crashing on a regular eFoil, I did something that all foilers know, which is where you just throw your hands around your head like this. You're wondering where the board is and if it's coming for you. So what happens when you fall, and what are some of the things you should think about? First of all, release the trigger. I don't know how many people I've seen in the falling position where they're just death gripped onto the throttle the whole time. While you're falling, release the trigger, everything will slow down and you'll be in a safer position. The next thing you want to think about is not falling on or in front of the board. You want to get away from the board if you're on a regular type eFoil. If you're on the Hydroflyer, just hold onto the handlebars and you'll make sure that the board and the foil are always away from you when you crash to the side. A big thing people are often worried about in eFoils is the prop and if they're going to get hit by it. Most of the time, the most important thing to avoid is the wing because it sticks out to the side and is thin and can be sharp on the ends. This can be avoided by pushing the board away and falling out into the water away from it. Lots of people have questions about the propeller or drive unit and whether that's a big safety factor. Different boards have different solutions, like a connection that breaks when you hit the water, or the Hydroflyer has a safety leash, so when you fall off, a brake is triggered and everything stops automatically. Everybody's seen a video of somebody whiskey throttling a dirt bike into a fence or a wall. And unfortunately, some people just have the tendency to keep the trigger pulled while they're falling. With the leash, we've avoided this and it always cuts the power in a fall scenario. So what happens after you fall? Sometimes the board can get away from you, and especially in big waves can move fast. That's why you want to make sure you always have a life jacket and a good wetsuit on. With the Hydroflyer, the board's always right there. So why do riders fall? This can be accelerating or riding too fast or outside of your skill level or your foil setup. Riding in areas where it's too shallow, there's a lot of seaweed or other debris in the water, or riding in challenging conditions like chop or reverberations off of certain walls. Falling's fun, so it's important to learn to fall safely because you'll progress faster, learn more things, and become a more advanced rider. If you're always worried about falling, you'll never progress. I grew up doing action sports like mountain biking, snowmobiling, and dirt biking. And I love getting into water sports because you can really push it and fall. You're not falling on dirt or rocks or hard surfaces, and you can just get up and go for it again. This really allows you to try more things. I built the first Hydroflyer prototype out of an old mountain bike frame strapped to some foils. And my dream was to be able to ride a foil like a mountain bike across the ocean. I started Hydroflyer to bring that action sport excitement that I got from dirt biking or mountain biking on land to the water. We quickly realized that this is something that everyone can do. I put my 7-year-old dad on it, my wife, and bring my kids on it. It's an exciting new sport that really is for everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. If you got any more safety or other questions, put them in the comments or give me a call or reach out through the website. If you found this helpful, subscribe and we'll see you on the next one.